Welcome to the Wolves Den, and the fifth and final episode in the series of modern G.I. Joe custom figures that I have worked on. In this episode, we're going to take a look at a few figures that I did a bit more customizing, a bit more work on. There's a lot more involved in these particular figures than any other figures I've did in the other episodes. So without further ado, let's get started. First off, we have Covergirl, and my Covergirl is not a tank driver as she is normally represented, but I turned her into a sniper. I thought about including this figure in my third video because she's mostly just a head swap, but there is some other things extra that I did to her that I thought I would include her in this video, so let's take a closer look. The head sculpt is from a Marvel Universe dagger, and I really did like the head sculpt, so I picked up the figure intending on using her in some fashion. Wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but then I tried it on this body, and it's the Retaliation Lady J body, and I thought it fit quite well. So upon putting the head on the body, I decided to turn her into Covergirl, my own version of Covergirl anyway. And other than putting the head on there, I painted the neck, because the neck was just a brown that matched the rest of the body here, but I decided to paint the neck, and it took me a while to finally get some paints mixed up that matched the skin tone that she's got here, which is kind of a different skin tone. It's a little kind of darker, a little redder, so it took me a while to match that up. I decided not to paint her fingers here, which is the only other skin showing, because I thought moving guns in and out of her hands might chip the paint. So I just left that alone and just messed with the neck there. The figure was good as it was, but I decided she needed a little something more, so I decided to give her a belt. And the belt is where I did most of the customizing work. The basic belt here is from a Duke from the Dollar General line, and it's just got a holster here with a gun, and then it also had a canteen. But I decided it needed a little bit more, so I cut this knife sheath off of a different piece of web gear. It's a pretty common piece of web gear. A lot of figures came with that. So I cut it off one of those, glued it onto the belt, painted it up, and then I also added some pouches, glued those on over here. And these pouches came from a Star Wars Mara Jade figure. And I thought that spruced the figure up quite well by adding those details. Next up, I have Mutt and Junkyard. And both figures are customized to various extents. So I will start with Mutt and just move Junkyard out of the way for now. Mutt started out with the 25th anniversary Mutt figure, which I was not very happy with. I just did not like the articulation on it. Just the whole execution of the figure was a bit off to me. So I wanted to make a new Mutt figure. So I took a Shipwreck from the Dollar General line and added Mutt's head and vest. And I thought that was a good look for a new Mutt. It was a good start. I added this holster here. And then I wanted to keep the padded arm from the 25th anniversary Mutt, but that arm would not fit on this body. The pegs would not fit. It just didn't match up right. So what I had to do is take that arm and to cut it and to hollow out the padded part and then fit it over this arm. So that took a lot of work. A lot of glue and paint to make it look right when I was done. But I think I did a pretty good job of making it fit properly and look pretty good. So that is Mutt. With Junkyard, I wanted to create some sort of body armor for him. And I wanted to try to do that because of Order from the 30th anniversary had this cool body armor. So I wanted to try to have Junkyard have something similar. And I will say right off the bat that I think ultimately I didn't do a very good job, or at least what I tried to do didn't turn out very well. And what I did was take some armor pieces from a Pursuit of Cobra Storm Shadow figure. I believe it was a Storm Shadow anyway. And I just cut the pieces up and glued them together, wrapped them around his body, and just painted them up in pseudo military colors here. I wanted to try to do a camouflage, but I didn't get that far. And these are just poster puttied to his body just so they stick into place. I could easily peel these off if I wanted to. But like I said, it was just an experiment to see if I could maybe do something, and it looks okay, but really it's not that good of a look for Junkyard here. Maybe someday I'll come up with a better plan and try something different, but for now that's the armor I came up with. Next up we have the Baroness, and she is the combination of a lot of different parts. Most of her is made up of an Agent Helix figure, the legs and the upper body here. No modifications. The belt was painted because it's normally all silver, so I painted the belt black. The upper torso, I had to paint the yellow parts gray so that it would match the lower body there. And the arms are from a couple different Baroness figures. And the upper and lower arms here are from the Paris Pursuit Baroness figure from the Rise of Cobra line. And the gloved hands here are from the Resolute Baroness. And to get those arms into the body, I actually had to crack open the upper torso, which is kind of a risky thing to do because you can potentially damage it, but I managed to get it apart well and then get the arms in there. The glasses are from one of the Rise of Cobra Baronesses. And the head is an excellent head. It's from Aurora from the Marvel Universe line. It just makes for a really good Baroness. Alright, now to the final figure. And the final figure that I have is none other than Destro. And I made this figure because I wasn't really happy with the Destros that were currently available. I just didn't like the way any of them looked. Some of them were just kind of silly with the big open shirt that was just so 80s, and it just didn't fit in with the rest of the figures that I had. So I wanted something that was a bit more imposing looking. So I came up with this design, and much like the Baroness, he is the combination of a lot of different parts. And starting with the head is from the 50th anniversary Destro, as are the hands. His forearms, I'm not sure where they're from. It's a Destro figure, probably one of the 25th anniversary Destros. I just don't remember which one. And then his upper arms here are from a Pursuit of Cobra Jungle Viper, as are his lower legs. And I know I had to paint the lower legs. I don't think I had to paint the upper arms. I can't remember. But I know I painted his lower legs. And I did paint the upper legs and his body black because they were kind of a grayish color because they were part of a Iron Grenadier from the Pursuit of Cobra line. And so that's the rest of his body. That's where the web gear also comes from. So putting all that together, I really liked the result. It made for, a bigger looking, more imposing, dangerous looking Destro. And that is it for this look at my modern G.I. Joe customs. I hope you all enjoyed these videos and found some things interesting. I realize I'm not the greatest customizer, but I do enjoy the process, and I do enjoy seeing, what I can create out of these different pieces and parts and what kind of figures I can put together. And so hopefully you thought some of them were interesting. So with that, I'm going to end this series and hope to see you soon again here on the Wolves Den for some action figure reviews. Until then, as always, thanks for watching.